Let's jump to the first big story, which is not from Timcast.com. It's from the Daily Mail. Biden administration says TSA will not enforce masks on planes due to a court ruling after Psaki said, "I'm not a doctor," when asked why face coverings are still recommended. You know, so this is it right now. We have a quote here, I suppose. Today's court decision means CDC public transportation masking order is not in effect at this time, an admin official said. I don't know what that means if you're maybe you're in an airport right now and you're listening on your headphones, you're about to board your plane and they're telling you still got to wear your mask. I honestly have no idea. Maybe you can show them this and be like, "Hey, I'm watching live right now. They're saying I don't got to wear a mask." Well, that's what the TSA said, but these private airlines might still want to enforce masks. So we'll see. But I just think it's absolutely hilarious that we're at this point now where during the White House press briefing, Jen Psaki is like, regardless of the federal court ruling, we're still recommending masks. And then when Peter Doocy says, why are you recommending masks if we don't have to wear masks here in the White House? And her answer was, "I'm not a doctor. Are you a doctor?" And it's like, that's the go-to response from now on, right? For anything.
You can also read it like, "Why are you saying I still need to wear masks?" And she's like, "Because I'm not a doctor and I can." So like,
yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. That's why.
Yeah.
It will be the go-to answer for everything. Every time something happens in the economy, I'm not an economist. I have no idea. Anytime the jobs report enters up, lower than normal, I'd be like, "I don't know. I'm not a job recruiter. I have no idea."
Why are gas prices so high? Are you a petroleum engineer? I'm not a petroleum engineer. Okay.
Yeah, I think it points to how they're all technocrats at heart, though. You know, like that's like the whole thing is this pivot to expertise is because they want to control and manage everything top down. So they're like, "Well, I'm not the person that can manage that top down. I'm just like a part of this technocratic team, and that's not like my position or whatever." But
was there like a memo that went out when Ketanji Brown Jackson was asked to define woman, and she's like, "I'm not a biologist," and then all of a sudden some Democrat strategist went, "Oh, that's it.
That's the ticket."
And then he's like, he writes the memo up, "From now on, this is what we do. I am not insert specialty." But how do you guys feel about the masks? I mean, what does this mean? Is this the end of tyranny, or is this like
it's
a
a
fleeting
step in
thing?
the right direction? The United States it's not here because of a fake trash constitution or country or people. We did this for real to get to this place, and this is an example of the American law working. I think masks personally are disgusting. I don't know if that's what you were asking about, how I feel about masks. Feeling the sweat and stick on my face after 5 hours on a plane of breathing, talking about recirculated air. Yeah. I just could never fathom, really understand how that should have been better for me.
Well, Ian came upstairs and he was like, "Masks, no more masks."
I was like dancing in for real.
Right.
Like teachers letting you go home with no homework or something.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It really feels like that. And that's silly. That's like they're gaslighting us to feel like that. I think gaslight's the right word, because I shouldn't be celebrating back to normalcy. I should just be expecting it and ready for it.
I mean, ultimately, you got to remember this is going to be enforced by a TSA employee, and those people are, on average, retarded. Can I use that word?
I don't know. I think they consider it a slur now.
Okay, my bad.
It means
they're
in general.
R slurs. Like one time
mentally deficient.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. I like that.
It's more. It sounds smarter.
It's a scientific term for behavior, though. Like retard. The word itself is to mean slow.
Yeah.
You can if you don't call people names and stuff.
I meant the slur, but
I think, just real quick, I think mentally deficient is more offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
because they're too dumb to get it.
Well, no, it's just like you're trying to make it sound smarter, or like there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway.
One time I was flying back home from San Jose. I was at a speaking gig, and I had a T-shirt on that had a grenade on it. And this dude at TSA was like, "Do you think you should be wearing that to the airport?" I was like, "Excuse me?" He said, "Do you think that's appropriate?" And I said, "Do you think you should be giving me fashion advice? Like, aren't you supposed to be like looking at my bag or something?"
Can't say bomb on an airplane.
TSA is interesting. I'm from the pre-9/11 era, and there was no TSA. It felt very authoritarian and weird when they created that after 9/11. And then when you find out there weren't weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East, and what the heck is this war on terror really? Like, why do we still have a TSA? I don't think.
Yeah, now you got grandmas taking their belts off because we decided to, invade Iraq or whatever.
The funniest thing about the airport thing is I was flying a lot when I came out here, when I moved out here for work, was the hilarious part was like when you look at all the signs that say you have to wear this, you have to wear that. They all had like sponsored by Purell. Sponsored. It was like is that not the most like corporatist thing you've ever seen, where it's like all your signs that tell you have to do this, behave this way at the airport, none of it mentioning COVID or anything like that at all.
I just like to imagine that there's like some, the president of Purell or whatever company is. He's like, his hair's all disheveled and he's going through the books and he's like, he calls his wife and he goes, honey, we're not going to have Christmas dinner. Sales are just really bad. And then he looks at the TV and it's like COVID lockdown. He goes, oh, and then he throws the papers in the air and he opens one and goes, get to work, boys. We're back in business.
Yeah.
Now he's like super rich and he's got like a Scrooge McDuck swimming through money.
That was one of the memes. It says the creator or the owner of Purell right now. And it's the guy who's got like 9 gold chains on and a bunch of, and a ring on each finger. It's like, that's exactly what it is. Them and whoever invented whoever's like producing the masks.
China.
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't the My Pillow guy making masks and they still hate him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he shifted production to start making masks.
Yeah.
And they were like, masks are bad now. We can't support anything he's doing.
that
That's
was
like,
that because I'm from Minnesota and it was really funny. Like people from Minnesota just hated that guy for no reason. They have no idea why. They've just been told that they have to hate him.
we got to pull up this tweet.
It's a great tweet.
And let me just preface this by saying, I don't normally care to mock people who are just not relevant, but this woman is apparently an elected representative.
She is.
An elected official.
Yep.
This woman, Lindsay Sabadosa, says today a federal judge called it overreach for U.S. health officials to require masks on airplanes and other public transit. And no matter how you feel about masks, you should be really, really concerned that the courts are effectively taking away power from the federal government.
Should we now?
Okay, hold on there a minute. It was a federal judge who issued a ruling on a federal mandate. This is more of an, I guess if you think that the courts are taking away the power from the federal government, if she's discussing some kind of like Ouroboros, the snake that's eating itself,
Yeah.
maybe, but I think she has no idea
I
what
think
she's
she means
talking about.
taking power away from the executive branch as it was intended, and that's what we have the separation of powers for.
Don't be charitable, Ian.
That's my job.
Like this is the thing that I think we often do is Joe Biden will do something and we'll be like, well, maybe he really
hold
meant
on,
this.
man.
And
I fully
tired-
agree. This is a foolish and irrational tweet. It doesn't make any sense. And she's all sorts of names. No, I don't have anything against it. But that's a dumb tweet that is wrong. The court's job is to strip away power from the executive branch if it goes too far.
Well, it's to interpret the law. Progressive Democrat and state representative, 1st Hampshire District, I believe it's in Massachusetts.
That's correct.
And it's just, oh my stars and garters.
So I looked her up, and she's also, before she's a politician, it says she's an activist, and I was like, yeah, that checks out.
Oh, man. Well, look, I want to say, I mean no ill will towards this woman. She said nothing mean to me. She just doesn't know what she's talking about. And so the first thing I always like to do is just say, hey, you were wrong. You should fix that. I don't want to rag on her for being, incorrect about this or not understanding how the government works. But I will say, while we try to be nice and respectful, because she has not, maybe she's talked about me in the past. I don't know idea. But if she's said nothing mean to me, I don't want to be mean to her. I would just say I have serious questions about her ability to work in government if she doesn't understand what federal courts are and what they do. That is a more professional critique. Right?
Yeah. That's
Trying to keep things respectful, I guess.
Isn't the whole progressive claim that they're for the people and power of the people and all this, and everything that they tweet or say or whatever is all about the power of the government?
No, I got to stop you there. I think progressives are authoritarian, and I'm pretty sure they've always been. Now,
I agree with that.
But I don't think they claim to be for the people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Some of them may, because it's probably from authoritarian to libertarian to a certain degree, but typically progressive just refers to doing what we think is right for the sake of progress. So these are people who in the past were eugenicists. I don't think the progressive movement has ever been particularly we want to protect all of the people. It's more like, how do we control the system better?
Yeah, and maybe I'm making a mistake of using like AOC as the avatar of progressivism because like with her, she's just always talking about the people, the people. But in practicality or in reality, it's always about more power consolidation.
Well, yeah, tankies, communists and stuff. They're saying we're going to help the people by force,
right?
And that's kind of like AOC. I'm surprised people still defend her. It's remarkable. There was that guy, what's his name? Chris, I think his name is, the union guy in New York who started a union at the Amazon factory. They fired him, and then he started a union. Very successful. Tucker Carlson had him on, And he's busted his ass to get this done, to push back against one of the most. I think Amazon is evil, terrible company, but we're all addicted to it. And AOC is nowhere to be found. And then when he wins, when the warehouse votes to unionize, AOC is all tweeting like, "Yeah, we did it," and he's just like, "What? Where have you been?"
Right.
Chris Smalls is his name. I believe.
Yeah. Good
Christian
for him,
Smalls,
man.
Yeah.
Amazon, Russell Brand just had a video that came out yesterday about like Amazon has like an internal messaging service in there, and they're like censoring words, like you can't say certain phrases like union or bathroom break. And it's just like, is that not the most authoritarian thing ever now? It's like they want to like reward you by having like kind of like how you have like likes on Instagram and stuff like that. So it's like you don't want to get a raise. You want to get your coworkers to give you likes on your internal messaging service app for your company that doesn't let you talk about bathroom breaks and doesn't allow you to unionize because what did they say? They spent $93 million on anti-union lobbyists or something in the same year.
Yeah, I'm looking at TheVerge.com. Some of the words that Amazon's banned with that app: master, slave, injustice, ethics. You can't say the word ethics.
Can't say the word ethics.
Some of them are really funny. Some of them are,
Checks out.
Fairness.
You can't say diversity.
Unfair.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, okay, it's all right then.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, what the hell? I love Bezos.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.